All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Q&A video number 7, I believe. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm feeling all right. Happy to have you all here. Happy to answer some more of your well-worded questions, which I will undoubtedly stumble through without actually touching the finer points of them, but I'll touch the duller points of them, I hope. Anyways, let's hop right into it. I'm gonna look at the questions posted on the last video. First of all, the first question here is from Anna, which says, will you do a graphic novel? I would like to do a graphic novel. The problem is I have drawings. I have drawings bursting up within me to do. I like drawing and I have ideas for drawings, but I don't have the same feeling about a novel, you know, for stories. I don't have stories bursting up within me, and I don't feel inspired to make stories. I feel inspired to draw, and I love drawing and making lines and pictures and stuff, but I don't feel that same urge to make stories. And I feel like with a graphic novel, a lot of the time, you have drawings that go with the story. And for a while there, I was doing that day fever thing, which I need to go back to sometimes. Maybe I'll go back to day fever when I finish this sketchbook. Maybe I'll go back to day fever. I'm almost finished a sketchbook here soon, right? So maybe that'll be my version of a graphic novel, which is kind of just like a really abstract, aimless, storyless graphic novel. I don't know. We'll see. So maybe not. I don't know. Joel says, a lot of good questions, a lot of Peter kind of answers. Debbie says sort of the same thing. Oh, abstract questions. Yeah, well, I kind of have abstract answers too, yeah, so. I have like a pimple here. It's like making my neck all red because I'm pinching it. Ignore me. Also, I have like lines on my forehead because I have that dermatographia, you know. Watch this. I bet if I'm not hurting myself, but I bet if I just run my fingernails across my forehead like that, in a few seconds, in like half a minute, I'll have 2 red lines going up my forehead here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, okay. Sorry, Miranda. My hair's feeling pretty good right now. The length, this is pretty good length, but also just sometimes it feels a little gross, you know, and then because I haven't taken a shower or something, and then sometimes you take a shower and then I don't like it because it feels gross because it's like a little bit damp or something. But right now it just feels like a perfect soft cloud of comfiness. It just feels great right now. It does. All right, Miranda says, how do you feel about Keith Haring as a painter, as an entertainer, as a person, and as a fashion icon? I mean, I didn't know the guy. I haven't really studied him. I like his little stick figures, you know. He's a cool guy. Apparently, I look a little bit like him if I wear glasses and have short hair. I mean, it's not really my favorite type of art, but I don't hate the art either. He's cool. Yeah. Have you ever contracted fish market face? If I'm supposed to know what that is, I don't. I don't know what fish market face is. If that's like a joke or a meme or an inside joke, I'm not sure. Oh, you guys see the lines on my face now? It doesn't hurt. They're just like red lines. They'll go away in a few minutes. All right. Yeah, Travis says, took your advice about drawing on the train and embraced the wobblingness. I think it turned out all right, but I ran into another uncomfortable situation. Like 3 people complimented me and asked if I was an artist and stuff, which I suppose is fine for some people, but I don't like the attention. Have you ever been spontaneously approached by people in public who complimented you when you didn't want the attention? Then I said, just wear headphones. And then he said I didn't think of that. Yeah, if you don't, some people will still try to talk to you when you're wearing headphones, though. But I've found that it's a pretty good conversation starter, like drawing on a train or in a coffee shop or something, some people ignore you and just let you keep on doing your thing, but some people be like, "Oh, wow, what are you drawing? That looks great," you know? Gail says, I was thinking you lived in Chicago for a while. If I'm correct, what was the best part about living in the big city? What stands out as something you didn't enjoy about it? It looks like I got a bunch of questions here. It says, the part I liked about living in the big city was that like everything was right there. I didn't have to have a car. There were so many incredible things within walking distance, and pretty much everything was in walking distance because of the train system. You know, I could hop on the L, they called it, which means I could walk, sit down, and then walk some more. The sitting down part was on the train, so everything was walking distance, really. You know, walk a little bit, sit on the train, and then suddenly I'm walking in downtown Chicago. But I mean, the grocery store I would go to was half a block away, and my coffee shop was 2 blocks away. I miss that coffee shop still. What didn't I enjoy about it? I didn't enjoy how my building got sold, and when I lived there, my apartment was $600 a month, and then it got sold and renovated, and I had checked on it later, and it was then relisted after renovations for $2,500 a month. So it can be expensive living in the city. It sounds like you live in a smaller city now. I do. Do I think I stay there a while? I don't know. The thing, what I don't like is I either want to live somewhere rural, right? Like kind of out in the middle of nowhere, or right in the big city. I don't like the in-betweens, like it feels like some sort of like weird purgatory, like the suburbia, like not being close to anything really, but not also being really far away, just like close to a bunch of other people, a bunch of other houses. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know. I don't live in the best place. Like I'm not really happy here, but I am in the process of trying to find another place to live right now. I stayed here longer than I meant to, so I don't think I'm gonna renew my lease another year. I only renewed my lease this time because I like the lease renewal date crept up on me faster than I expected it to, and I was like dealing with some other stuff in my life, and I was like, I can't deal with moving right now, and I don't know, I just wasn't in a good place in my life to move. I don't know. But now I think I can handle moving right now. Moving is a huge pain. It is a huge pain. It's exhausting, but I love it for some reason. I guess I love it because I move a lot, don't I? But I think I'll move somewhere nearby. I don't know. I haven't moved yet. I've lived here for like 2.5 years or something, so maybe one day I'll settle down somewhere. We'll see. Yeah, it is a good time. Yeah, she says it's a good time to get rid of stuff. I do get rid of a lot of stuff when I move. I do. I lived in Florida for, that was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago for a couple years. I lived near Destin, Florida. That's up in the Panhandle, up in the weird part of Florida that's in the Central Time Zone. And it's kind of a Alabama-ish part of Florida. No. It's nice though. Jade Squirrel says, I'd love to hear T.S. Eliot's 4 Quartets read by you. Oh yeah, so another thing I'm doing now is I'm taking, since I don't usually, when I do readings on my YouTube channel, I usually only read things that are in the public domain, right? But I figure since I'm posting them privately, and I'm not monetizing the videos that I think I do monetize most of the videos I post here on Patreon, just because that's what I do by default. But if I figure I can post, if you guys have reading, what can I think of words? Reading suggestions, requests, make them. They don't have to be a public domain. Maybe I can get away with reading them for you. From anyone. Maybe I can read them to you. Jade Scroll requests T.S. Eliot's 4 Quartets. I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up. Question: do you ever battle the depression dragon? Dragons in general, slay them or tame them? I have dealt with depression before. I mean, I've taken antidepressants before. In fact, I actually tried to enlist in the Air Force before, and I scored very well on the thing is called the ASVAB, their aptitude test, right? To see how apt you are to serve in the Air Force. But they're very picky in the Air Force because it's the branch of the U.S. Military that I guess most people want to be in, percentage-wise. And they ruled me out on medical grounds because I had in the past taken antidepressants. I guess they get to do that. But I scored like the 98th percentile in that aptitude battery. And I was like, whatever. So I didn't go to the Air Force, which is probably for the betterest, because I don't know how much I would have liked it, but I might have liked it. I don't know. That's just like another branch my life could have taken, I guess, but it didn't take it. It took the branch of life I'm in now. But yeah, I took antidepressants for about 2 years. I was in like a tough, weird spot in my life. Like that was after I dropped out of college, and yeah, life is weird. And then I got into a slightly better spot in my life, and I reevaluated where I was, and I thought maybe I'm doing better now. I'm feeling better. I'd like to not feel dependent on these pills, so maybe I will try stopping taking these antidepressants now. So I did, and it was about a week. I did go through some withdrawal, which basically consisted of feeling like weird, sweaty, kind of dizzy and lightheaded sometimes, but I successfully stopped taking the antidepressants. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't take antidepressants. That's like a thing you figure out on your own. But I think they definitely helped me in a certain time. But I also am thankful I don't need to take them right now. I don't know. It's a tough subject, but definitely seek help if you need it. There's so many different ways to work with it, but definitely don't just sit there and wallow in it when there's so many different ways just to slowly work through it. Even just taking a shower or going for a walk, as difficult and insurmountable as those things can seem sometimes. I don't know. I hope you figure it out. There's a lot of different ways to work on it and start feeling even just a little bit better over a long period of time. I don't know. Sorry, I wish I could help more. All right, let's look at the comments from the other thread I posted here. These lines look really bad on my face, don't they? All right, it says, let's see here. Daniel has a reading request. Okay. Currently, my favorite three favorite music albums. I'm bad at favorites. Not good at favorites. I mean, I can recommend 3 music albums, but I don't want you putting them down as my favorites. You know. Let's see. Here's a difficult thing, because I feel like the music albums I listen to the most aren't necessarily my favorites, because I have certain music albums I listen to a lot just because I'm comfortable with them. I'm familiar with them, and I like listening to them just because they're like a comfortable, familiar like soundtrack in the back of my mind, like for falling asleep, for making coffee, for tidying up. Not that I do that much, but you know what I mean? Just kind of like a background soundtrack. Does that mean they're my favorites? But I don't really listen to them, Like I listen to, what's it called? I don't even know what they're called. The names of my albums. Probably I listen to Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco a lot right now. And I listen to, I'll tell you the song album, and I listen to probably Pablo Honey by Radiohead a lot, and probably I'm so bad. Look, if I choose three, I feel so bad about all the other ones that I left out. I can't pick three, you know? That's why I have a that's why I have a playlist. That's why I have a playlist with like 1,000 songs on it. Hmm. Here, look. I'm going to reply to this with a playlist link. Look at that. Something fell down behind me. All right. Just gonna, if you need some new, I know this is a lot more music than you asked for, but there. Sorry, I'm so bad at recommended, like narrowing things down to favorites. It's just that's a weak spot for me. It is. All right. Chris also asks, not sure if this would interest you for a reading. Check if your local library has a book called Kwai-don, Stories and Studies of Strange Things. It's filled with Japanese folklore and ghost stories, etc. Is it on the internet? I mean, I can just read it off the internet. I don't know. I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll look into it. All right, let's see here. Max says, in your opinion, when did you actually become an artist or wanted people to refer to you as an artist? Are those two different things? I think it is two different things, because I think a lot of us are artists. And I don't know when I was actually an artist, or it's such a vague, weird, sometimes pretentious sounding term, which is why for a long time when people ask me like, what do you do? For like a couple years at least after I was supporting myself full time by drawing, etc., right? When people asked me, what do you do? I would usually say, I draw pictures of things. I draw pictures. I sit around drawing all day. That's what I would say. And after a couple of years, I got tired of like figuring out weird ways to not actually say I'm an artist. But eventually I just broke down and started saying I'm an artist, and then just let them take from that what they would, right? I don't know why I was so reluctant to just say I'm an artist, but I think it is, people might jump to like weird, like, ooh, he's an artist, or he's an artist. I don't know. Art. It's very vague. People don't have to refer to me as an artist. No. Do you believe in ghosts or have any ghost stories to... I don't think I really have any ghost stories. I don't think I really believe in ghosts, to be honest. Zealand says, for all the fangirls out there, what's your dream girl? Well, I wouldn't want to disappoint fangirls. I mean, what do you mean for all the if I describe my dream girl, then I might disappoint and discourage and let down a lot of the fangirls. What does that mean? If my ideal woman, nothing really pops into my head. Or am I supposed to say like brunette or blonde or something? Tall or short? Am I talking about body type here? Or am I talking about personality, or both? Everything? That's very much choosing a favorite. I definitely couldn't do that. A favorite type of person. Couldn't do that. It says, I can't think of what you should read, but I really like the one with the magical galoshes. I don't know what that is. Also, that one where there were 1,000 generations of a family living in one home. I also don't know. Do you know the names of these? Matt says, reading request, not for my sake. I've read it a bunch, but it's my favorite short story. The Short, Happy Life of Francis Macomber. Francis McComber. It's just starting out poorly. I can't even say the title. I'll probably stumble through the whole thing. I'll check it out. Adina says, did you use any books on pen and ink techniques? Which were your favorites? If not, how did you perfect your lines? Did you devise your own exercises? Thank you. I have devised some of my own exercises. Things like watching Netflix and filling a whole page with lines, just like hatch marks and cross hatches and squiggles and lines, right? My exercises include things like drawing a lot, okay? Draw a lot. But I have looked at pen and ink. I do have books on pen and ink techniques, which I've probably looked at for all of, 2 or 3 hours in my whole life total. But how many hours have I spent drawing in comparison to that, right? I think the books I've looked at have been helpful, right? I also have looked, and also there's art I like, like Mobius and stuff. I've pored over his books and looked at his art, and I look as closely as you can, not at the art and the picture and how the picture looks, but how he drew the actual pen strokes and how they fit together on the paper. I looked at that and it's for ideas on how to form textures and stuff, right? People like Mobius, people like Edward Gorey and stuff like that, right? Definitely did that. Bill Watterson, even though his drawings are kind of simple compared to people like Mobius, you can still learn a lot, especially the way he draws his scenery, his trees, his rocks. MC Escher, I've looked so closely at all his lines. Not all his lines, but you get it. Corvallis says, Proof Rock by T.S. Eliot. I haven't heard of that. All right, I'll look it up. You mentioned playing video games from time to time, but I've never heard you talk about any of them specifically. What are some of your favorites? Also, I really enjoy your H.P. Lovecraft readings. My problem with video games is lately I've never I don't play any of them for very long. I go through little phases where I'll play a video game for 2 days, and then I'll play it nonstop, 16 hours a day for 1 or 2 days, and then I'll get burnt out and I feel guilty about playing video games and not drawing. And then I won't play any video games for a week or a month. And then I'll come back later and play a different video game. It used to be that I would buckle down and play one video game for a long time. 7th grade, my 8th and 7th grade summers, I played RuneScape nonstop, day after day after day, month after month, every day after school, come home and play RuneScape, I have hundreds and hundreds of hours, Modern Warfare 2, I played a lot of WoW. When I was younger, I feel like I was much more concentrated on playing one video game for months and months and months, but these days I never really concentrate on one thing. I don't really have a favorite. None of them, I get no satisfaction from them these days. So I don't really have a favorite. Nothing really does anything for me, it seems. Jupiter says, since you've finished your sketchbook, do you have any others you're planning? Any others you are already using? You have one in mind you're going to pick next? Yeah, like I said earlier, maybe that Day Fever one. I'll go back to it. I don't know. I haven't solidified my plans. More original P. Draws stories. Oh yeah, the Dr. Walker one is pretty cool. I don't know where that one came from, really. I'll have to think about it. I'm kind of unsure about those stories, but maybe that's just because I haven't made very many of them. Will Ritchie says, sorry, would you consider reading gangster rap lyrics for 30 minutes in your regular voice with no music? I feel like that would be highly entertaining. I don't think so. I love the video where you smell art supplies for an hour. Also, more drawing always turns out perfectly if you're looking to revisit something rare. Yeah. And questions, if you're willing to answer, why do you avoid content? I don't avoid content. It's just that my content, the content I go for is drawing, right? It's my art. That's my content. And then the content what I'm referring to as content free is that I'm not like addressing all these like heavy topics that a lot of, well, first of all, I'm not addressing a lot of heavy topics that a lot of podcasts might go over, like current events, politics, religion, a lot of things that, you're like, what's going on in the world? What's everyone thinking and talking about? There's plenty of other people talking about that, right? And also, it's content free, like my podcast. If that's what you're talking about, voting content. I like referring to my podcast as content free. That way, I set the bar low when people go in there and think, well, this guy's been talking about almost nothing for an hour. He's just blabbering on about pants and stuff. I don't know, but look, a lot of what I'm saying is like a lot of those other things, like heavier topics, are great to talk about, right? They're important, and a lot of people are out there saying great, thought-provoking, important things about them. I just don't really feel burdened to be those people, okay? I feel burdened and led to draw pictures. And I don't want talking about other things to divide people and distract from the art, I guess. I don't know. I haven't fully formed those thoughts, but that's kind of where I'm leaning. I hope that helps. What, who, and when do you fear, respectively? Why? What's important to me? What do I fear? I fear the deep ocean. Who? Maybe like The Rock, if I met him in person. When do I fear? Not any time more than another. Why? Just human nature, I guess. What's important to me? Just like some stuff, like food is pretty important. Bacon is not as important to me as seems to be to some people. A lot of people seem to have made bacon a huge part of their life. Like they have bacon stickers, bacon patches, little bumper stickers, and they're just like always going nuts about putting bacon on everything. Bacon is not my favorite meat. It's just like not that good. I mean, it's okay. I like bacon, but people, they get like really memey about it, and they're just like, I'm like, y'all, bacon is not that good. I mean, it's good, but y'all are blowing this out of proportion a little bit. Good spots to eat in Wilmington. PT's pretty good. I don't know. I go to Cookout a lot. Flamin' Amy's. I don't go to there's a lot of like local hotspots that I haven't never gone to, even though I lived here for a couple of years. Wilmington City Tour. I'm not really like a hip local that knows all the cool spots is the problem. But maybe that would make the video even better. Maybe it would. I could show you all the boring spots I've found. Velveeta shells and cheese or Kraft mac and cheese. I've grown up on Kraft mac and cheese personally. I've only had Velveeta shells and cheese once in my whole life. In Mooresville, North Carolina. Andy says, hey Peter, today I discovered SCP, very interesting website. Yeah, I do have heard of SCP. Yeah, it's yeah, there are a lot of SCPs. It's true. They're definitely weird, huh? No, I like the idea behind SCPs. It's true. Yeah, no, thanks for that suggestion, Andy. Debbie says, aren't red hot dogs weird? I mean, why do they make them so red? I mean, here we are talking about them. That's a pretty good reason to make them that red. Stand out, huh? Stand out from all the other hot dogs? But I guess you don't want them to be so red that you don't buy them because they're so red. It is a little weird. And I don't have a good reason for why they're so red. I don't have a good answer. I don't. I'm sorry. Debbie says, in case the hot dog question was too softball for you. I don't know what that means, really. Here's something more controversial. Bananas firm and greenish, ripe, yellow, or soft with brown spots. You only like them when they're still greenish? The squishy texture and overripe. I like them right here, between firm and greenish and ripe yellow. When the green is turning to yellow. Right there. When they're still firm and greenish, they have a weird kind of grainy texture to them, I feel like. Here, ripe yellow, it's just soft with brown spots is just obviously just disgusting. Just save them for banana bread at that point. Ripe yellow is okay, it's edible, but I like them closer to this direction, firm and greenish. Halfway between right there is my, like yellow with tinges of green. Be my perfect banana. Yeah. That's a good question. All right, I think that's all the questions. Sorry if I missed anyone. Make sure to post, I guess, post here below in this Patreon post, in the comments here, your questions for the next video, and any other things you want me to read. I guess we're all just mixing all the reading requests, Q&A questions, and mixing them all together for now. As soon as I make the next first exclusive reading post for you patrons, you wonderful supporters of the arts, then we can put all the other reading requests under that post or something. I don't know. It's fine. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Thank you all, everybody. Thank everybody, you all. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good one. See you later.